Welcome to Half 2-4. Today in the show, David Beckham turned a genius Messi scheme to officially sign Casemiro into Inter Miami and bypass the strict regulation of the league. We will tell all details. In the camp of the national team of Portugal flashed a real split. They demand that Ronaldo leaves the team, and fans of Cristiano simply went crazy. And why Harry Maguire trades stickers in a kiosk in the center of New York. About all this and many other things we speak right now. In the camp of the national team of Portugal on the World Championship flashed a real war, which finally split the team into warring camps and put a cross on a healthy atmosphere. After a sensational draw one against DR Congo around Cristiano Ronaldo exploded a large-scale international scandal into which are already dragged leading experts, stars of football, relatives of players, and even their second halves. Authoritative Portuguese sports media and analysts beat on alarm and openly call the 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo immediately to finish international career. Columnist of the edition, Abola Nuno Saramago, directly stated that the great goal scorer already objectively does not cope with the intensity of modern football because of age. Journalist of DAZN, Luis Mateos, underlined that the passivity of Cristiano in defense more is not compensated by goals, and his presence on the pitch creates psychological pressure on partners who search the captain by passes even in harmful for the team situations. Part of editors' demands from players of the national team to conduct with the legend a harsh talk behind closed doors to convince him to sit on the bench of reserves. Parallelly, a mad internet army of personal fans of Cristiano arranged a large-scale cyberbullying to other football players of Portugal. Fans accuse midfielders in that they intentionally ignore the captain. The biggest wave of hate fell on the leader of Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. Despite that exactly, Cristiano in the last match took away from him a 100% goal moment, having run into someone else's zone and having hindered the strike. But a real explosion in the media space happened around the post-match interview of the 21-year-old midfielder of Paris Saint-Germain, Joao Neves, for the media resource MVP. The young halfback tried to protect the team's spirit and emphasized on equality. We all perfectly know what Cristiano Ronaldo made for us and all world football. But right now, he by nothing does not differ from other players. He is simply yet one football player in this team who helps the collective exactly the same way as this do all others. Ultras fans of Ronaldo interpreted the phrase, "he by nothing does not differ from others," as a terrible insult and disrespect to the great GOAT. Under all last publications of Neves and Instagram instantly appeared over hundreds of thousands of angry comments in the style, "If not Ronaldo, the world would generally not know about the existence of the country under the name Portugal." Look only on this madness. Further, the fan aggression switched on the girl of Joao actress Madalena Aragao. To her in comments, started massively to write demands to teach own boyfriend to give passes to Cristiano. The situation completely went out from under control when the network scattered a screenshot of the reply of Madalena to one of haters. On the insult, the girl sharply cut off, "Tell own GOAT that he finishes career, he is too egoistic." After this, the influx of bots became so unmanageable that the beloved of the football player was forced completely to close own profile, although later opened, but under some publications turned off comments. On this attack, instantly reacted the entourage of Ronaldo himself. His wife, Georgina Rodriguez, in own social networks, ironically ridiculed the young couple, having written, "Wow, well and strong, same went the current generation." Meanwhile, own sisters of Cristiano traditionally fan the fire. Elma Avero called partners of the brother by national team ungrateful losers who play without respect, and Katia Avero openly supported hate in the side of Bruno Fernandes, having liked a publication with his destructive criticism. Model Georgina Rodriguez also ironically added laughing emojis to the post about strength of the team, where play two-time winners of the Champions League, Neves and Vitinha. Inside the national team of Portugal, Neves, they try to protect from this wild pressing. Bruno Fernandes publicly left a heart and words of support under the post of Joao, showing that healthy members of the collective hold together. But obvious as one with such a toxic background and public war of relatives, Portugal risks to finish this World Championship by a trivial failure. Write in comments on whose side you are in this scandal, Neves or the side of Cristiano Ronaldo. The Pentacampeons return on great turns on the World Championship, and Carlo Ancelotti again proves to all critics' own undisputed genius. The national team of Brazil on class destroyed the national team of Haiti in the match of the group stage with the score 3-0. And though experts until now note the absence of an absolutely stable team game and prolonged positional attacks, this duel gifted to fans a pile of bright tactical decisions and incredible sincere emotions. Don Carlo again demonstrated own signature character, having left the young talent Endrick on the bench of reserves and having released on the sharp edge of attack Matheus Cunha. The forward completely justified the trust of the Italian coach, having formed a splendid double in all for 36 minutes of the first half. You only look on these frames. The mom of Matheus Cunha cried from happiness on tribunes, rejoicing to goals of own son on the Mundial. An incredibly touching and sincere moment, which exactly will enter to the collection of the best emotions of this tournament.
So now I can say,
but the main engine of the Brazilian carnival on the pitch became the winger of Madrid Real Vinicius Jr., who recorded on own account a goal and a splendid assist, tearing the defense of the rival on a mad speed. After the match, Vinny disclosed the curtain of behind-the-scenes advices from the coach. Carlo Ancelotti asked me to play deeper, running directly into zones between central defenders. And he was absolutely right. When I play exactly there, I score goals. I need more often to listen to the mister. But yet one important for Brazil news sounded on the press conference. Ancelotti officially announced Neymar Jr. returns and will be called on the next super important duel against the national team of Scotland. The head of the national team of Brazil clearly mapped out the plan of recovery of the legend. Neymar tomorrow will conduct an individual training. On Sunday, he returns to the general group and will work together with the team after what will be officially included to the squad list on the match against Scotland. The return of Ney, this is splendid, but the main that with him was not as with Ronaldo in Portugal. Behind the ocean exploded a confirmed mega transfer, which was accompanied by wild financial intrigues, wars behind the curtains, and personal legal genius of David Beckham. Authoritative insider Fabrizio Romano came out with own signature exclusive. Here we go. American Inter Miami completely closed the deal regarding the signing of the legendary Brazilian midfielder Casemiro. All interested sides reached a full verbal agreement, and formal steps are resolved. The five-time holder of the Champions League binds own future exclusively with MLS for the sake of one big goal. He madly craves to play in one team with Lionel Messi. But if not David Beckham, this transition never would happen. Leading world and British editions disclose details of a fierce boardroom scandal between Inter Miami and Los Angeles Galaxy, which cost to the club of Beckham a solid sum. The matter in that Galaxy first booked Casemiro in the internal system of the league by the rule discovery rights. These were not simply papers. Los Angeles conducted with the player full-fledged negotiations and made official financial proposals, planning to close the hole in midfield after that, how their star Ricky Puig received a heavy injury of cruciate ligaments and flew out for the bigger part of the season of 2026. Casemiro already was inclining to California, but after a family vacation in Miami and personal talk with Beckham, sharply changed the decision, realizing that the star goes to competitors. LA Galaxy decided harshly to take revenge for refusal and set to Miami an ultimatum. Either pay for rights, $1 million of internal currency of the league, or the transfer is blocked. This is an absolutely unprecedented case because usually such rights cost symbolic $50,000, and when Galaxy itself was buying Marco Reus, then paid to Charlotte Record for that time $400,000. This million-dollar precedent already provoked a riot in the league. The majority of clubs called this rule a feudal relic, and the leadership of MLS urgently entered the question of its full cancellation to the agenda of the nearest meeting of the board of directors. But Beckham managed to squeeze the Brazilian into the team, where the limit of designated players with unlimited salary is packed under full by Lionel Messi, Leonardo Campana, and Rodrigo de Paul with his salary in $7,500,000, David simply genially bypassed the system of strict regulations with the help of two maneuvers. Maneuver first. The official base salary of Casemiro in documents they fixed on the mark less than $2 million per year. This sum completely they cover at the expense of special targeted allocation funds of the league, so that it generally did not press on the general ceiling of the budget of the club. Maneuver second, or how they call Messi scheme. To compensate to the Brazilian the drop of incomes after Manchester United, Beckham connected commercial giants Apple and Adidas. Casemiro received a clause about an exclusive percentage from sales of licensed merchandise of the club with his image, and also integration into global sponsorship campaigns. Factually, to him legally, will extra pay third-party brands for advertisement, what by regulations of MLS is not considered a club salary. Thanks to these financial maneuvers, the real income of Casemiro for 2 years of the contract up to December of 2028 will be in times higher than official papers of the league. Beckham and the rules did not break and signed the superstar for free on the rights of a free agent, having left LA Galaxy with nothing except the comforting million. Write in comments how to use such a sly scheme of bypassing of rules. A cult return from which at every real fan of old school football exactly will go goosebumps on skin. The Italian infospace blew up a simply crazy news. The legendary wizard and holder of the Golden Ball Ronaldinho officially returns on the football field. And this is not some empty rumors, because the Brazilian already signed a contract and became part of an ambitious project of the Italian club Ravenna, which performs in Serie C. All this grand operation spun around the president of Ravenna, Ignazio Cipriani, and the vice president of the club, legendary Alfredo Breda. The leadership of Italians organizes a large-scale presentation of the new season in American Miami, which is planned on 23rd of June. And exactly there, Ronaldinho again will put on boots. Alfredo Breda, in an interview to the information agency ANSA, officially confirmed this information, having stated, "In the nearest days will happen a grand presentation of this great character. Whether we'll play he on the pitch, we will see, but this is absolutely not excluded. He a real champion, crack, who simply does not have age." Rony himself, who announced about the completion of professional career yet in 2018, already gave an exclusive interview to the edition La Gazzetta dello Sport, where did not hide own wild delight from this comeback. I, with huge impatience, wait for the moment when again we'll be able to whirl in a dance with the ball on the pitch to write a new beautiful story together with Ignazio and all family of Cipriani. Football always was for me the main source of joy in life, and I want to bring this same sincere spirit into Ravenna. For a modest club from the third daily Italian division, this is not simply a masterful move, but a real cosmos in the plan of marketing and finances. Ronaldinho enters into Ravenna not only as a player for friendly and official matches, but also as a powerful investor, ready to pour serious money into the development of this football project. Designers of the club already prepared a unique feature on the next season. On the new game uniform of Ravenna, the traditional letter R will be stylishly combined with the legendary brand logo of the Brazilian R10. Details of this historic agreement will become known already in a few days. But obvious is one on us waits a real magic, for which we all so strongly missed. Friends, write in comments whether we'll follow you behind matches of Italian Serie C for the sake of Ronaldinho. On the transfer market of Spain flared a real strategic war between two eternal giants, and Florentino Perez again proved that is a grandmaster of behind-the-scenes intrigues. Authoritative Spanish newspaper Marca reported, Madrid Real prepares a simply crazy historic transfer and is ready to lay out 220 million euros for the 24-year-old French winger of Munich Bayern, Michael Olise. This can be considered the first not official proposal to Bayern because, Marca, this is absolutely about Madrid edition and such a so-called inside simply so there does not appear. So this goes a probing of reaction of the Munich side. Clear that to at least Bayern raise the receiver is needed, a proposal which will be an absolute record of the world and must exceed the transfer of Neymar into Paris Saint-Germain for 222 million euros. Therefore, we wait for further steps. I think with the transfer of Olise this summer will be yet many interesting news. After all, Jose Mourinho and Florentino Perez see in the right winger an ideal reinforcement because of his age, mad game profile, and, most importantly, already existing chemistry with Kylian Mbappe in the squad of the national team of France, which right now tears on the World Championship. But the juiciest part of this report discloses wild behind-the-scenes games in Madrid. As turned out, the recent official interest of Real to the forward of Atletico Julian Alvarez and a loud proposal in 150 million euros were purely a tactical fake and a smokescreen. Perez never seriously did not plan to buy the Argentinian. This was a sly strategic scheme directed exclusively on that to maximum complicate life to Catalan Barcelona, artificially inflate the price tag on the player, and block his transition on Camp Nou. But the star goal scorer of the national team of Argentina, Julian Alvarez, whom fans know by nickname the Spider, until now is set exclusively on the transfer to Barcelona. By information of Mundo Deportivo, the leadership of Atletico Madrid is not against the sale of the forward, but bosses of mattress makers categorically do not want to reinforce a direct competitor by La Liga. Atletico, by all strengths, tries to push Alvarez outside the borders of Spain, giving a clear preference to variants with London Arsenal or French Paris Saint-Germain. Catalans perfectly understand all financial and political tension of this operation. Joan Laporta realizes the transfer will be practically impossible if Julian himself publicly and harshly does not press on the leadership of Atletico, officially having demanded to release him exactly into Barca by the scheme which he once used for departure from Manchester City. The degree of intrigue fanning and football players of Blaugrana themselves, directly from the camp of the national team of Spain on the Mundial midfielder Gavi, gave a hot interview on the direct question of the reporter, which exactly player that performs now on the World Championship. He immediately would sign into Barcelona. Gavi, without any hesitations, fired out, Julian Alvarez. While the national team of England, under the leadership of Thomas Tuchel, tries to scratch out victories on pitches of the World Championship, the former leader of defense of Three Lions, Harry Maguire, looks like went into all heavy. In the network went viral simply crazy frames on which the defender of Manchester United trades in a kiosk in the very center of New York. Fans in TikTok and X instantly launched a wave of trolling and created a meme about that Maguire so heavily lived through own non-call-up on the Mundial that threw football and went to sell stickers near Rockefeller Center to at least somehow own self-provide in the USA. But if you already thought that Harry changed profession, you can exhale. In reality, this video is part of an official and very successful promo campaign of the brand Panini. Since Thomas Tuchel shocked the defender and left him outside the final squad list on the World Championship, Maguire did not become to be sad at home and headed into a beforehand planned media tour behind the ocean. The player signed a solid advertising contract with the company Panini, which traditionally releases official collectible cards and stickers to every Mundial. A special branded van of the firm they set up right on the streets of New York in the form of a classic newspaper kiosk. Harry climbed inside of this van and, with a wide smile for free, was distributing packs with stickers of World Cup 2026 to surprise strangers, children, and American fans, populously distributing hundreds of autographs. To that same, the defender arrived to the USA not only for the sake of stickers, Maguire will take part in match shoots of a special edition of the popular podcast of Gary Lineker, The Rest is Football, which during this World Championship is broadcasted on the platform Netflix. There, Harry will try own self in the role of a top analyst and television expert. So, while Tuchel nerves on the coaching bridge, Maguire, in a splendid mood, earns money, conquers New York, and entertains local fans of Manchester United. Write in comments whether will come out from Maguire a good television expert, or better, would he continue for free to distribute stickers in the USA? On Today All, if the addition to you liked, subscribe on the channel and put likes.